Speaking of sawmilling, could you see if Greg could do a video specifically on marketing the lumber he produces?
He doesn't market the lumber.
Yeah, the lumber that he produces is for the farm use. So I guess he could market, and we've sold like birdhouses.
But that's marketing a birdhouse, not necessarily
But that's the lumber.
Yeah, it is the
lumber.
lumber.
That's like value adding. But I would, yeah, like you said, I would say as far as like lumber, he doesn't market it because
We
at
use
least right now he doesn't,
Yeah.
because we use it for a lot of projects. That's the advantage is, especially with like cedar, it's very rot resistant. We got you know if you get a log that has a lot of heartwood, it takes a long time for that to rot, and so we use that for all kinds of like we use it for like dog feeders, a lot that anything that
tire
has to
tank
do with
installations.
like, outside.
That was the big thing when we did like cost breakdown of tire tank versus rock skirt, and we didn't realize if you like we were just doing it out like what you'd have to pay if you had to buy landscaping timbers to make
rot resistant.
Rot resistant landscaping timbers to build the rock pad around the tire tank, and we don't think much of it because there's all sorts of like landscaping timber size, like 8x8, whatever, 6x6 dimensions, to use for like 14, 15 foot long, like stock links or whatever to use for that kind of application. And we started figuring out how much it was going to cost if you had to buy all that. And all of a sudden the tire tank became way more expensive than we thought it was.
It was crazy.
So,
it was like $1,200 compared to $800.
And the difference, the major difference between the two is the use of wood versus the absence of wood, like in the design for the skirt versus the tire tank. And so, wood is just expensive, and especially rot resistant. Rot resistant wood to build like outdoor application stuff. So
that's a huge one. Is like if you've got the mill is obviously expensive, but if you can acquire one that works and you can mill your own lumber,
it's gonna pay for itself.
It's like, you may think, oh, you didn't have to pay. Lumber's cheap because you didn't have to pay for it, but you gotta think you didn't have to pay for it. So that's like money you technically make.
Yeah.
Like if you're using that lumber, you're essentially making that money that you're using. You know what I mean? So, because otherwise you'd have to buy it.
But it is true though. Like if you were gonna market it, like you could make money off of it that way too. But value adding is really, I think, the way you'd have to go, which requires labor.
The thing is, it's hard to market like straight lumber, just because the lumber industry is so refined and so
streamlined.
Streamlined that a real market that maybe needs to look. I don't know a lot about it, but a real market could be like custom logging or milling. You go to somebody's farm that they've milled or they've logged out their woods or whatever, and they've got the logs sitting there, and they'll pay you whatever amount per log to mill this up for their house that they're building or something like that. Or somebody just has one log that they want milled up for you, just different things like that to be able to. But then that takes time too, and so then it becomes like.
But it's what it's what you want to do,
And if that gets you going, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Go for it. It's cool.
We just gotta get creative with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Market the service instead of like the end product.
Yep.
That's an idea. Or value add.
Yeah.
Birdhouses, furniture, raised beds.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of different picnic tables.
Wasn't there some guy in South Missouri or something that he's got this like raised bed business, and
for cedar.
He's looking for. He was asking Greg if he had any cedar available to sell. So maybe that's maybe that's a market. Maybe you get somebody like that you could sell your lumber to.
You're looking for some artisanally sourced.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing that Greg and I were talking about is like if you somehow were able to get a kiln and you could kiln dry like oak, for like cabinetry work or stuff, like then you're talking, you could maybe make it profitable. I don't really know the numbers.
I don't either,
but it's something to think about.
Yeah,
it's definitely something super cool. I'd love to have a mill someday, just because.
Yeah.
Wood is such a good tool in farming.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, it's an advantage to have have like little sheds because we don't really have any barns.
Yeah,
We
here.
have like little sheds everywhere that are just like have stashes of different dimension, like, you know,
Yeah.
cedar everywhere.
Any kind of little project, we
Yeah.
just go out and find it. We don't have to go to the store.
Really, the going to the store part is finding where the correct dimension lumber is.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have an inventory of where it all is stacked. So you got to sort of like, sometimes you got to drive to a couple different sheds to figure out where those 8x8s are or whatever.
Yeah.